Hi there! Welcome to the Math Review. In this question, we're going to read everything it says here thoroughly and then look at each of our choices. And then I want to make sure you understand that we're going to go over each and every choice two ways. Once mathematically and once using a model. So, let's get started. Which situation describes a scuba diver exploring a shipwreck at a depth of 0 meters? Because we're talking about a scuba diver and we're talking about depth, this sounds a lot like an elevation question, which means we have to make sure that we're very comfortable with integers. And integers, in case you don't know, are positive and negative whole numbers, as well as 0. So, let's take a look at choice A. And let's make sure we know exactly what they're asking. They're looking for the situation that would result in a depth of 0 meters. That's very important. When we're talking about elevation, we normally use a vertical number line. And on the number line, we have some very important values. We've got 0, and 0 represents what you call at sea level. And any values below 0 represent anything below sea level. Basically anything underwater, which is exactly where a scuba diver should be. And anything above 0 represents anything above sea level. Maybe like a bird or the top of a mountain, or anything above 0 represents anything above sea level. So let's take a look at choice A. The diver starts at 10 meters, that's positive 10, and then increases depth by 10 meters. So the diver starts at positive 10 meters, that's over here, positive 10, and then increases, that's a very important word, increases depth by 10 meters. And what that means is, the diver is going to go up by 10 meters. So the diver is going to go from 10 up 10. So from here, the diver is going up 10 more and would end up about here, which is at positive 20. Now let's think about this for a second. If we're saying that the diver is going up 10, first of all, if the diver is 10 meters above sea level, that diver's in the air. Then he's going 10 meters further up. That means he's flying. And there's no way that a scuba diver, maybe a hang glider, but not a scuba diver, is up 20 meters in the air. So choice A is definitely a no. So now let's take a look at choice B. The diver starts at negative 10 meters, then decreases depth by 10 meters. So the diver is starting at negative 10, so we'll put negative 10 down here and label it negative 10. So this diver is somewhere over here and then decreases depth by 10 meters. Now what exactly does that mean? Decreases depth by 10 meters. Well, that means the diver is going down another 10. So from here, the diver is going to go down 10 more meters and we'll end up somewhere around here, which is negative 20. And that is not what we want, because what we're looking for is a scuba diver of 0 meters. But that's not possible because the diver is getting further away from 0. 0 is up here, the diver started at negative 10 and then go down another 10 to negative 20. If we show that mathematically, that would look like this. We would have negative 10, and then we're traveling or decreasing another 10. So that would be negative 10 plus another negative 10, which gives us negative 20, which is the end result. So we started at negative 10, this arrow represents going down 10 more, and then the end result is negative 20, which is again not what we want, which makes choice B also incorrect. So choice C says, the diver starts at negative 10 meters, then increases depth by 10 meters. So let's take a look at what that means. So in this example, the diver is starting at negative 10, which is right here, and then increasing depth by 10 meters. Remember that increasing depth means that they're going up, and because we're increasing the depth by 10 meters, that means the scuba diver is traveling 10 meters up from here. And that would look like this. So the scuba diver starting here, and then going all the way up 10 more, which puts the scuba diver at 0, and that means that choice C is exactly what we're looking for. Because it puts the scuba diver at 0 meters. And if we show that mathematically, we would end up with the following. The diver starting at negative 10 meters, that's negative 10, then increases, so plus a depth by 10 meters. So that's negative 10 plus 10, and that equals 0, which again represents sea level and is exactly what we want. And in case you were wondering why choice D is wrong, we can go through that pretty quickly. In this choice, the diver is starting at 0 meters, which is over here, and then decreases depth by 10 meters. The diver here is starting at 0 and then decreasing by 10 meters. So the diver will start here and then go down 10 meters, and the diver would end up at negative 10, which again is not what we want. And if we're showing that mathematically, that would be 0, because that's where the diver is starting, plus negative 10, because the diver is decreasing depth, equals the end result. 0 plus negative 10 is negative 10. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for the diver to be at a depth of 0 meters, and that only happens in choice C, which means choice D is just another answer that is wrong. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on the Math Review.